Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 6th of June 2024, and I probably don't need to remind you of what the significance of this date is. It's of course the 80th anniversary of D-Day, the Normandy landings, when the Western Allied forces landed in France and started pushing back the Nazis to eventual defeat in May 1945. So that was the start of the process. And really, if you want to see a pretty accurate, a pretty good depiction of what was happening this time 80 years ago on those Normandy beaches, you can watch, well, I think one of the best depictions was Saving Private Ryan, the opening scenes there, the horrific sort of images of people coming off the landing craft and making their way up the beaches and eventually to the German defences, and how many people were just sort of killed in the most atrocious ways. You know, machine gun bullets flying everywhere, mines and bombs and shells and mortar bombs, all sorts flying in there, people getting ripped to shreds. Absolutely horrific. And really, when you watch that kind of thing, you should be sort of thinking there should never be any more wars. I don't care what the circumstances are, unless you and your country, your locality are being directly attacked right now in a military way, with very hostile intent right now. You should be saying to yourself, no, I do not want any war. And yet there's these people, these powers that shouldn't be, whatever you want to call them, who, as we speak, and some of the, or many of the hypocrites will no doubt be there taking part in, no doubt, many ceremonies and, you know, sort of things going on to remember the falling of D-Day. And many of these powers that shouldn't be will be pretending to pay their respects and to sort of respect the dead and their sacrifice, and they'll go straight back to their offices afterwards and carry on planning military conflict. So the absolute hypocrisy of these people is astounding, really. And we need to make every effort to tell these people that you know, we don't ever want any more D-Days. We'd never want any more wars. The only time I'd contemplate going to war is, as I say, if there's literally enemy forces with tanks and guns making their way up Brighton Beach and up from the coast, which is the nearest bit of coastline to me, and then making their way inland from there, and they're kind of raping and pillaging and sort of shooting and executing people all along the way. Totally evil people. Yeah, obviously you'd have to defend yourself against that, but when's that going to happen? That's not likely to happen. You know, we've got more than enough deterrent available to us in this country to stop that from happening, and there's just no need for us to go to war. And I would say to anyone, especially as we've got this general election upcoming, anyone in any of the political parties, if you're going to be supporting any kind of war with Russia or whatever country it might be, sorry, I'm just not interested in voting for you or supporting you in any way. And if you think you've got a mandate when you come in after the general election's done, and you know, you want to go to war, well, you certainly do not have my consent for that, and you don't have the consent of, I would think, the vast majority of people in this country who have got no problem with the Russians whatsoever. And you know, we've got absolutely no reason to go to war with them. So yeah, that would be my message. I do not consent to any kind of war, and I will not take any part in it, sort of whatever, and I will have nothing to do with it. And it just absolutely disgusts me when we've got this sort of anniversary and these sort of horrific scenes that, as I say, would have been going on the D-Day beaches exactly 80 years ago now, as I make this video. How there's still people out there who think that war is a good idea and we should sort of still keep doing it is beyond me. And we all know what the reason is, don't we? No ordinary person like me or like you or anyone you know wants war. It's only these sort of so-called rich elites. They're anything but. It's more like pond scum, if you ask me. But these so-called elites, it's only them who want it because they're the ones who profit from it, and they don't care how many people suffer, how many people die. Probably, as far as some of them are concerned at least, and that's another benefit to wars. A bit of Depop going on there as well. And but as far as, yeah, so they benefit from a profit point of view and from that kind of thing as well, fulfilling their sort of sick ideology. But as far as ordinary people were concerned, no ordinary person in Russia wants war, no ordinary person here or in America or in Europe wants war. It's only these nutters who think they're in charge who want war, and I'm here to say to them loud and clear, no, I do not consent to it, and I will not be having it. And I think if enough people echo that sentiment, it's going to send a very powerful message to these people to think again, basically, because there is a lot of evidence out there now that if you sort of push back hard enough, you protest hard enough, and enough people do the same, that we can get this kind of thing reversed, these kind of plans reversed. We've done it before and we can do it again. And in the next few days, I'm hoping to get involved in basically some anti-war kind of messaging, I suppose is the best way to put it. Going to be sort of making some films and videos about that. So do watch this space. So the other thing I want to talk about today, briefly, I've had a couple of conversations in the last week or so about shoplifting, basically, of all things. And basically, it is absolutely rife. Someone I know went into a branch of Boots to see there was almost no stock on the shelves. And yeah, when the staff were asked why this was, they just sort of replied, well, we've just been robbed blind, basically. And I was having a conversation with my brother last week, and he was saying that supermarkets and shops are again just getting robbed blind. Yeah, there's all sorts of laws in place where security guards can't just go and put their hands onto people who are very obviously shoplifting, just walking out with a trolley full of stuff and without having paid for it. They literally can't do anything. They can't put their hands on them. They can't do anything. So they're just getting away with it. I think the only thing a security guard can do is just basically block their way, sort of, if they can get to a narrow enough point, block their way. And that's what happened apparently with one lot of shoplifters, and they just kind of laughed, just left the trolley there and said, oh, we've just done Tesco's up the road that way, and we're about to go to sort of Waitrose over that way, so yeah, we don't care, mate, and off they went. So they're really, really brazen. And it's just crazy the amount of shoplifting going on, and these security guards can't sort of do anything, which in some ways, this is just a quick diversion. In some ways you'd think, well, if security guards can't even lay a finger on people who are obviously shoplifting and robbing, how would they be able to forcibly, or security guards and other security forces and police, etc., how would they be able to forcibly give you one of those? I don't think that would ever be able to happen in this country, not if they can't even stop shoplifters. Because there's obviously all of these laws in place. But anyway, just going back to my, that's just a brief aside. Don't know what you think about that. But just going back to my original point, all of this shoplifting going on, what do you think? Might that be part of a certain agenda? The powers that shouldn't be and all of these big bosses, they turn around and go, oh, look at all the shoplifting that's happening. We can't let this go on. We need to sort of bring in some kind of solution to this problem. Problem, reaction, solution, the old sort of trick of the powers that shouldn't be. Well, what can we do? Oh, I know, we'll have to just basically lock everything away behind cabinets now. And the only way you'd be able to get into a cabinet to get the things you want to purchase would be to present your digital ID on some kind of barcode device, which would then unlock the door, and you would then be able to sort of take what you need, obviously go and pay for it at the sort of till in the normal way. And obviously shoplifters wouldn't be doing that. And that's probably what they would be looking to bring in, which sounds all well and good and benign when you look at it that way. But what do you think would be the likelihood in the future that there would be certain other caveats, other than not being a shoplifter, involved with getting your food and your produce from your shops? Things like you've made sort of certain anti-government remarks or videos like this one, and that's kind of gone against your digital identity record, and therefore the cabinet's not going to open for you. Or maybe you're not quite 100% up to date on those things. Again, the cabinet's not going to open for you. And there's many other things that they could sort of do as well. They could put sort of high calorie foods, things like chocolates and sweets and ice cream and biscuits behind their own individual locked cabinet doors. And if your digital ID is deemed that you're sort of at an unhealthy weight, again, you'd be locked out of those particular cabinets. Again, the alcohol cabinets, you'd be locked out of those if you've had more than your allotted amount of alcohol units that week. So I'm always suspicious of these things. When you hear about shoplifting, I'm sure they could do other things and do many things to sort of stop shoplifting from going on. Just employing a lot more security guards. They might not be able to stop them, but if they're standing there looking at the people and maybe filming them and taking photographs of them as they sort of nick stuff, maybe that would be a deterrent. I'm always suspicious when you hear about massive amount of shoplifting or whatever is going on. Problem, reaction, solution. Problem is loads of shoplifting. The reaction is, this is terrible, we can't allow this to go on. Solution is those locked cabinet doors behind which they'll be putting all of their products perhaps in the future, which will perhaps again have more and more caveats coming in before you can access them. So very suspicious. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and also about the war stuff as well. We need to be certainly pushing back against any kind of war. Tell the powers that shouldn't be, in no uncertain terms, we do not want your war. So take it and get lost. So with that, I'm going to leave it back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.